all the spaceships to Davenport. Prepare for divanarchy, an interface with a couch in space. It's space couch time once again. We took 2 weeks off because I felt like taking 2 weeks off. But time is kind of irrelevant when you're this far out into the cosmos. But what's not irrelevant are, of course, today's sponsors. Brand new this week, it's Ligerhawk Records at ligerhawkrecords.bandcamp.com. You want to check out Bitman's Pure Chip. It's just so good. Then you want to check out Friends of P as covered by 8-Bit Panda Strike. You nailed it. Once Upon a Time, the new single from Tommy Tantrum. Then we got 8-Bit Panda Strike as remixed by Gasoline Invertebrate. I think they did a pretty good job. Deadfall, we signed a metal band with their album Almost Dead. Then Gasoline Invertebrate's Rage Magus featuring guest vocals by Leon Idol and Moxie Dame. And then Leftism is Bad, the Wokest Bullshit remix for the Immortal Imperative Reaction. 2 more notes before I forget. Check out this awesome space couch hang that the Grim Life of Hack and Slash's mom made me. And this is like a zoomed in more camera on me, so I'm not showing the audience my crotch weirdly the whole episode. So we'll see how that works. One more advertiser to get to. It is, of course, Super 7. Super 7, the coolest toys in all the land. You know I'm an action figure maniac, and you might be too. So get you some at super7.com/spacecouchshow. You know I was picking up stuff from them. Want to show off this week. They have I got this blue Demon Jr. action figure, the Luchador, and he's in a suit because they did that for a movie, and I love it, and it's great. Speaking of things about which I am excited, super pumped for today's guest. We've sort of been like on a couple shows together, and like everybody loves this dude, so we're gonna figure out why. It is the Chubacular Interlocutor. Everybody, Stupenzo, what's going on, man?
Chilling. I don't think everyone does love me. I think there are a few people that are like not into my shtick for whatever reason, but it's okay.
Well,
I have plenty of friends in real life.
Okay, what's that like? It's something I have yet to experience. But those people that don't are assuredly wrong, and are in the minority because we'll start with a segment we call here. We like to call, what did I set us this up for, the shortcut? Oh yeah. It is encapsulate what you create. Formerly describe your vibe, but YouTube stole that. So now it's encapsulate what you create. You have 3 main shows. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's like, my channel. There's a reason why I called my channel just Stupenzo, because I started it as like I was in art school, and I had to upload video projects somewhere. So, I had a few video projects from like 2013.
Awesome.
And then nothing happened for a while. And then, around 2020, I did start doing Tales from the Dorkside, which is like a panel show. It started because we walked out of a Rise of Skywalker. Like, it was like December 2019.
Yeah.
And I did like a 6-hour live stream with like me and some music homies, because I've played bands, and we were all like, what was all that? What has been the past 5 years, And it was fun. And I was like, let's do that again. And we did it a few more times, and it was no big deal. Nobody cared. And we streamed it on Facebook, with like my friends, I was just put a link in the comment section, and anybody could join, talk about what movies they were watching, and nobody cared. And then the pandemic happened, and all of a sudden the channel, like the show blew up.
Nice, man.
Where like people were like coming in every Monday, whatever time I was doing it, because everyone was like under quarantine. But I'm in Texas, so quarantine didn't last. And I started doing the show on Facebook. Like, I kept doing it on Facebook and kind of started doing it semi-regularly. And then I moved it to YouTube, I think around 2022, and did like a couple random streams that year. And then 2023, I was like, I'm going to just go hard on this year. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do a stream every week. And then around mid-January, I realized like I can upload these like movie commentaries. I started to get more familiar with like what is allowed as far as like copyright and fair use. And so I started uploading these like weekly movie watches, because really something I wanted to do forever, especially during the quarantine, was watch movies with people remotely with voice and video. Because there was a few apps where you could watch Netflix with people, but it was all text-based chat.
Totally.
And it's like, nah, that's not what I'm looking for. And then Discord, my cousin told me about Discord, and I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for. And my cousin and I watched, I don't know, we watched Zombie Strippers with, not Zombie Strippers, it's called, it's the one with Alexis Texas.
Yeah.
That was a terrible movie. And then we watched Congo, which was also really fun. And then we watched Step Up Revolution.
One. Okay.
Which was like, holy shit, I need to start recording these.
Okay.
And I don't know. Over the past 2 years, I've watched like over 150 movies. Those are the Dorkside We watches. So that's show number 2. And the panels are fun, but I talk a lot, as you can tell already from the first 5 minutes of this.
We're in space, man. No rules.
Yeah, and that's another thing I like about you is like I also have the space theme, with the dark side. I like to. It's like we're watching movies in a void,
Totally.
It's fun, I
don't even think about it like that.
Yeah. So, as far as the Stupenzo cast, I started doing those like about a year ago, about 13 months ago. I want to go do a live show where I don't have any panelists, where I'm just kind of solo, and I wanted to talk about the new Jennifer Lopez movie, This Is Me Now.
Okay.
It was insane. So I just talked about it for like 2 hours. It was great. And then I started, the Stupenzo casts are random. The Tales from the Dorkside is random. We'll talk about whatever. Sometimes we'll do like focused topics. Sometimes on Stupenzo cast, I'll talk about a movie or something or just random crap. Lately, I've been watching a lot of like garbage reality TV. We've been watching The Swan, which is like a horrific plastic surgery show from 2004.
Like last episode, we were doing a lot of going back because of the deaf woman saying funny shit. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of like
every day
looking at her huge jugs.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just been fun. Basically, I'm just doing it for me. The joke is I got monetized recently, so I've changed now.
Right.
I'm totally different now.
You used to be cool, man.
Yeah. Well, honestly, because I was one of the victims of reused content.
Oh, okay.
I didn't try too hard to get monetized, and when I was finally eligible, like back last November, I like waited a month to apply, and then I did, and it got denied for reused content, and I was supposed to appeal, and I never did because I didn't care really.
Right.
But what happens is now there's like when you try to look at your watch hours, there's a big dialogue box just saying you're not eligible for monetization. And I'm like, I don't care. So one day, like a couple months ago, I was like, well, I want to get rid of this and see what my watch hours are. And I just clicked this button to close it. And it's like your application for monetization has been resubmitted. And I was like, I didn't mean to do that.
Oh, okay.
And then it got accepted. And I was like, what the fuck? Okay, that's cool. But then a month later, it was taken away because of monetization, reuse content again. They said they're going to take it away like on this specific date if I don't send in an appeal video. So I did send in an appeal video, and it was basically just me talking at like sped up chipmunk speed because it has to be under 5 minutes. And I was basically just explaining what the channel is. I basically just gave you the same spiel I did just now. And yeah, it got accepted. So what the hell? I don't know. I'm not expecting to stay monetized. I say a lot of offensive shit. We're constantly skirting copyright law. But like I said in my appeal video, it's like, man, I don't really care. Like if you took away my ability to share a screen or have guests, I would still probably go live and just rant. I don't know. It's just
cool,
good.
Man.
It's like Bill Burr's like Monday morning podcast,
right.
Where he just talks to himself like with his coffee.
I hear you. Good stuff. Well, I mean, you're insanely prolific at it. As I wanted to ask you this as a fellow enthusiast of schlock, with all the Dorkside rewatch and now sort of doing TV on Stupenzo cast. Maybe this, I don't know if there's going to be a lot of meat on this bone, but having consumed so much media from different eras, do you notice any trends? Like, can you tell right away, like, oh, that's a 90s joke, or that's a 90s theme, or that's like an 84?
Absolutely.
Like,
all the time. Because you have to understand, I'm a huge cinephile. I play the drums. I play the drums professionally.
Hell yeah.
I also do graphic art for a lot of posters, music stuff. I work in the music industry, basically, for like 20 years.
Oh, dope.
I've played with a lot of bands. Kind of like lately, I've been kind of a gun for hire,
Cool. Well, you're a drummer, so like you got to be in
exactly
20,000 bands.
I got to fly to Chicago in August and play
cool.
some random festival with some random fucking dudes. You know what? I don't know. It's gonna be
That
fun.
sounds awesome.
But yeah, I am scared to fly with the band though, because that's always like, so many bands die that way. It's just such a curse way of travel. Yeah, I don't know. I just love talking about movies, and I could talk about them like at great length. Like when I went to art school, I definitely minored in film because I was just curious. I just love movies so much, and nothing makes you want to not make movies. Like get into that business
Absolutely.
more than like hanging out with people who do.
Okay.
Like when you hang out with film majors and stuff, you realize like, oh, dude, this
is no good.
It's like a pipe dream here. Same thing with YouTube, like, hey, I have no intention of like making a bunch of money on YouTube and making this my career. I do this more like I treat YouTube more like social media or therapy, so it's just it's fun. It's just fun. It's just something to keep busy and something to do, and it's just a nice hobby. And I meet a lot of cool people,
Right.
I meet some less cool people, but
That'd
I'm
be me.
polite. No. I mean, there's some, hanging out in this fandom menace circle, this Gamergate,
Well done.
Comicsgate. Everyone, everything's woke. Disney's terrible. Star Wars sucks. It's like, yes, it is. Obviously, but I've been saying that for 10 years.
Totally.
I've been saying it for like more than 10 years, and now there's like a lot of people catching on to it. And people want to talk about how woke everything is. And I'm like, bro, it's been this way. I'm tired of talking about it. The Disney doesn't want to change. I'd rather just watch movies that are made for adults.
Okay. Is that like one of the themes you might notice, just to get back to where I was going with it?
Yeah, like tons and tons of themes. Like I was just talking about 80s movies,
right?
Because of Paul Simon's Graceland, which was like the birth. No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. The birth of world music, basically, or making world music really mainstream.
With the African drums and stuff.
So many 80s movies have this, like, at least one point in the movie, maybe the whole movie's like it, but like Caribbean steel drums, beach
fascinating
vibes, Kokomo, Weekend at Bernie's, Cocktail. We were watching Throw Mama from the Train, and of course it has this like 80s beach scene at the end, and the Paul Simon style like end credit music.
Right.
It was just, it's so prolific. Same thing with like early 2000s. I wanted to because we were talking about not, the idea of my channel not being monetized. I had floated the idea of maybe starting like a bullshit second channel for like just really feeding the algorithm and doing like video essays, which are like annoying and not fun to make. I'd rather just go live and talk about it like this. Like, for instance, I thought about making a video about this, but obviously it's much more fun to just talk about it. But like in the early 2000s, so many movies were influenced visually by three movies: The Matrix, Saving Private Ryan, and what's the third one? There's a third one, but like specifically The Matrix. So much black leather, trench coat, sunglasses, techno music. The third movie is Traffic with Steven Soderbergh.
Yes. That was very influential.
So Saving Private Ryan and Traffic, those two movies visually like impacted so many movies, because so many movies started using like colored filter lenses, like we're in Mexico, it's yellow now,
Right.
Or the movie's just like super blue for some reason, like Ozark.
Totally.
Like why is everything, it's so experimental. Also like kind of high exposure, like high grain, like my camera's got going on right now. That was very popularized by Traffic. And then Steven Spielberg with Saving Private Ryan totally popularized that like sped up strobe look, with the sped up film look. You started, and also handheld camera, like this documentary, also desaturated colors that all the Marvel movies love. It's just super crazy how like
fascinating.
And Nick, The Matrix was like so awesome that it fucking sucked, because like every movie tried to rip off The Matrix all of a sudden,
I mean,
because people, someone was talking about how, what movie was it? I'm trying to think of back. No, someone was like, oh, this movie, I actually like this movie. Like, I don't understand. Oh, Mission Impossible 2.
Okay.
Because Mission Impossible just came out, the last one, and someone was saying, I actually like Mission Impossible 2. I don't understand why it gets so much hate. And I was like, well, because it was one of the first movies to fall victim to the popularity of The Matrix, because now all of a sudden Ethan Hunt is like riding a fucking motorcycle in Matrix outfit, and it's also very dumb. There's a lot of slow motion, and I think there's bullet time in it.
Oh, is that okay? They all kind of blur together. You are blowing my mind with the Graceland thing, because it makes so total sense.
Right now, I feel like we're getting back into vampire movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but go ahead. Graceland is. I love that album. Everyone does.
Well, the first time I weirdly didn't get to like Los Angeles or Malibu for like a long time in my life. And then when I finally got there, I'm like, this looks like the 80s. Just because that was every movie. It was like this weirdly tropical palm tree-y thing. And I can totally trace that to that album.
You're like in Jamaica, and you're like, this feels like the 80s for some reason. And you're like, yeah, because so many 80s movies have this like beach vibe.
I love it.
Even if it's not Caribbean, Jamaica, it'll be Miami, Florida, California, Venice Beach. Like there's a lot of beach vibes.
Right, totally.
It's just interesting, and I know who doesn't like the beach.
I like the beach.
Yeah,
cool.
But I feel like travel agencies were really promoting that area and other stuff. Like it was just a vibe.
Totally.
There's always a vibe,
There's always a vibe.
Yeah, what's always fun doing these terrible movies is you can always like tell what's coming. You can always have an idea what to expect.
Like in the really first 30 seconds, like that guy's gonna fall in love with her, and she's gonna be a ninja.
Yeah, we just watched No Contest the other day with Andrew Dice Clay and Shannon Tweed, and it's like Die Hard at a beauty pageant. And, the fucking bad guys go up. It's Andrew Dice Clay. He's got short hair and a mustache and glasses and a wig. But then he takes the wig off later, and his hair's the exact same underneath. And then he takes off the mustache and the glasses, and it's like your guys did nothing.
Amazing.
But what's funny is like him and his henchmen go up to the receptionist guy, the security guard, and I'm like, of course he's going to pull out a silenced pistol, and it's going to be like pew pew pew, and that's exactly what happens, right as soon anytime you see a shitty car in a movie for some reason, like that car is going to blow up.
Absolutely, there's no way that car not surviving.
That car's gonna explode soon. Like it's the wife, and she's like, "Bye, honey, I love you." So and so, and the car's like a shitty station wagon from 10 years old. You're like, she's gonna get in that car and it's gonna explode, or someone's gonna gun it down and it's gonna get blown. Yeah,
that's hilarious. I gotta look for that now.
Is there no meat on this bone? We could talk about that topic for like hours, bro.
Well, you never know. Like, I think I'll have like a winner. And then people would be like, "Yes," like, "Oh shit, okay." I planned for 20 more minutes on that one. So
what kind of trends are you like into? Or have you noticed?
I've been doing. I'm in a fairly recent girlfriend situation, so I've been catching her up on all my favorite like bad movies, like the Mount Rushmore classics. Like we did Fateful Findings in The Room in one day. That was a lot. Miami Connection. Just did Velocipaster. Maybe
Velocipaster is like, that's like another level. Velocipaster is like bad on purpose though.
It's bad on purpose, so it doesn't count. But like my buddies in it, and he never told me.
Birdemic is like
Birdemic. We did, yeah.
Like The Room is like, that's pretty bad. But when I saw Birdemic, I was like,
Birdemic is another level. Yeah,
that blew my mind.
I asked her
sorry, you asked her what?
I asked her if she wanted to do Birdemic too, and she's like, no. Like,
there's a 3.
There's a 3 now. I haven't seen it. We'll catch up to that.
Some of my favorite, we watch a lot of bad movies. There are lots of good ones, and then there are just straight up bad ones.
Right.
But there was one that I wanted to watch forever because I own it on VHS, and I'd always go to this Memorial Day Burning Man style regional from Texas. So it's like a big drug rave in the woods Memorial Day weekend. And go out, drink fucking, like you're at a Jimmy Buffett concert, just drinking hard liquor for 5 days and taking a bunch of psychedelics.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, bro. And then you're as everyone's naked and shit, you come back all crusty and exhausted. And one of my traditions was I would always, because people they're lazy, they fucking come home with their car full of crap and they leave it like that for a month. It's like, no, dude. I come home and I unpack everything. I get everything done, and then I can relax. And I would have this I would drink one of those melatonin sodas, and I drink leftover booze from the bar, and smoke a big fat bowl or something. And then I try to watch this movie called Rockula that I bought randomly from a Goodwill on VHS. I had owned it for 10 years and never watched it. And I finally got to watch it October 2023 when I tried to do Schlocktober, which killed my algorithm to my channel, by the way.
Okay.
Uploading a full-length movie every day for October. I went from averaging at 1,000 videos of you. It kept growing up. I was like, this is going somewhere. And then once I did like the first October video got like 800 views.
Okay.
That's totally normal. Like pretty quickly. Second, third videos, fourth videos the next day is like 50 views,
Can't
60
do it.
views.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I average at. Like I average about 100, 200 videos, 200 views a video, which is not a lot. But people that are watching, they like it and they're there and they're in the chat and they're not bots, which I always appreciate because you see people like you're in these bigger chats, 10,000 people watching, and there's only like 50 active people in the chat. You're like, how many people are bots? I know people are busy like doing dishes and shit and working while they're watching. They can't actually be active in the chat, but it's just really strange because like if you push the @ button and like the first two letters of someone's name, they'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in a big chat with like 10,000 people, you would think like if you're just like messing around with the keyboard, you would see like all these names pop up. But really, like you try that and you're like, there's still like only like
interesting
50 or 60 people here. It's weird.
I would love 50 or 60 people.
Yeah, but okay. As far as these terrible movies like Rockula, man, October 2023, we watched that one and literally like almost went insane.
Okay, so is it good bad or just like tough bad?
It's bad, but it's so insane.
Okay.
That like because it's the same guy who does what's his name, Dean Cameron or whatever. He does that's not his name, but he's like in all those dumb ski movies, ski
yes.
movies.
Yeah,
Dean Cameron, I think is his name, but
okay.
He is in this terrible movie where he plays a 400-year-old vampire virgin. And from the first like 5 minutes, like the opening scene, you're like, this is gonna be bad,
Okay. Yeah.
And the plot is he's supposed to he keeps like meeting the girl of his dreams and his love of his life, and then she is destined to be killed by a pirate with a ham bone, and then she gets reincarnated like another generation later, and he gets to relive the nightmare all over again. So he starts a rock band to like, I don't know, pursue her. And Thomas Dolby from She Blinded Me with Science is the, he's the
I love Thomas Dolby.
Guy.
I got a legit fan.
He has a huge significant part in this movie.
Okay. Oh, why have I not asked? Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen him in concert many times.
Music numbers are terrible, bro.
I'm sure they're not good.
But there's a specific timestamp. I'll send it to you where me and my cousin Thunderqueef like it breaks us. We're like, holy shit. It makes us like scream at the top of our lungs. And then we start like laughing like hysterically for like 5 straight minutes because we lose our minds. It's bad.
That's what I live for though. Like the first time I saw Hard Ticket to Hawaii, I can remember a few points where it's just like, where am I? Like this can't be reality that I'm seeing.
Hell yeah.
I want to smash cut to this before I forget, because I'm sort of meeting everybody. I've been going this Space Scout shit for a while, but like I'm kind of the new kid on the block in like R or whatever YouTubosphere. How did you meet everybody? Like, do you know people in real life, like the aforementioned Leon and Moxie Dame and Sammy and all them? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing is like it's just like real YouTubers you listen to where and same thing with people in the chat. Like people come and go. It's weird. Like how like the batch of people I'm like associating with like Titus right now is not the same that it was 6 months ago or 6 months before that. It's just like a constantly. I think it's just also because I'm kind of just doing my own thing, so I just kind of go where the wind takes me.
Cool,
I'm But I don't know. It all started with Blue Collar, Dark Hour. These guys were Blue Collar Loser and Dark Hour. Like I knew these guys from like Facebook Critical Drinker Group. Because I got into these like Critical Drinker and EFAP groups, and because I was trying to plug my Wii watches. I was like, maybe these people will like what I'm doing. They don't, but I was like, hey EFAP, you guys like every Mauler and them. Like imagine if instead of the EFAP movies, it was done by two American guys who drunkenly curse and smoke pot. If you like EFAP movies and wish it was done by Beavis and Butthead, check it out. And they're like, no, we prefer our serious analytical discussion of plot holes. And so but that's how I met a couple of those people. And we started kind of streaming again, streaming together. Tyler Wolf is another one. He's like a film critic. He's funny.
Very cool.
But then, like, I got into the Gooch Gang and all them, Cannoli Sasquatch and all them, because, I got on Cannoli Sasquatch's show Monday, Mischief Mayhem Movie, MMM, whatever. Mondays he would talk about a random movie. and it was The Shining was the first movie I was on, and I think I like blew their minds with like some of the stuff
Oh
I had heard.
yeah,
They were like, "Hell yeah, bro!" And then I was on like shortly after that with The Exorcist, and yeah, and I started
classics.
meeting
Okay.
people. And then I started getting on Gooch's channel like pretty regularly. The first year he was doing Diabolical Souls, I was talking about Blue Eye Samurai with him, and
Mm-hmm.
Arcane season 1, and Scavenger's Reign, and I was on his channel a lot, so I met a lot of people for him. And Leon and Sammy, those guys are like, I'm pretty tight with those dudes now, and Cinevere seems to be like the new cool kid that we're
Friend
all
of the show,
liking. And
Cinevere. Yeah, she had
yeah,
a,
there's
she
just
was a
so
great
many.
episode.
Yeah, the Nick Plot Strikes Back, Vex, all these great people.
I'm
Nadia,
learning.
Horror with
Yeah.
Nods. Yeah, like it's just one of those things where I think we all just have this affinity for movies, and it all just kind of started from there.
Okay.
There's Hypnotic and a lot of these more video game centric channels, and I'm not big of a gamer these days. I'm certainly not. My
Okay.
Steam account, I just have Jackbox on Steam.
Right. That's all you need. Because you and I have actually been co-guests on a show. Uh, is there any guide that you have to like being a guest on a show? Do you present yourself any differently, or does it just
Yeah,
show? Okay,
definitely try to talk less. I try to talk. I'll try to interject occasionally, and I only if it's worth a shit. Like
right.
I certainly don't like to, like that's one part of the reason about Stupenzo Cast is like I will rant. I can rant. I can go off. But it's like jazz music. Like it's also important, like drumming. Like it's important what you're playing, but it's also more important what you're not playing.
Well said.
So
Good stuff. Space between events.
Chill a little.
Gotcha.
And also I try to be I try to get as many points as possible in my rants, So if I talk for like 30 seconds, hopefully there's like 3 solid points in there or so.
You want to put a pretty hard knee compressor on that. Get as much in as you can.
I certainly, stream with some people, and I love hanging out with them. But a lot of us and just kind of struggling to get through to the point. And it's just like, no. I mean, I've been told ever since I was a little kid, like, you should be doing stand-up comedy or something.
Okay.
And I'm just like, yeah, sure. I don't want to do that, but this is fun.
This is good stuff, man.
Talking remotely with people, podcasts, and that's blowing up right now. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber now. But as far as like being guests on the channel, like, I mean, it's like karaoke. It's always whoever's running the karaoke. It's their rules.
Okay.
Whatever their rules are, you go by it. Like on my show, it's pretty free for all. Like everyone's welcome to come on. I don't really care if you have a crappy mic. Obviously, it's better if you don't. But I don't care if you have limited tech or you're on your phone or you're just popping in, popping out. But if you're going to be coming on pretty regularly, hopefully, like you will get those more radio etiquette kind of skills where you start talking better. You learn to dictate yourself better, and it's really like a self-help thing. Like I'm not saying, because it's bad for the show. I'm just saying, hey, it's good to be a public speaker. It's good to speak your mind. It's good to get your points out. I was hearing an article about how Zoomers can't read. I was like, what? So I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's weird.
Wow.
Everyone's retarded.
Yeah,
but
that I'll sign off on.
But yeah, as far as being on people's shows, like you're saying on this show, you can curse and be offensive. That's always fun.
I love it.
Some people like I feel like that's a lot. I kind of like similar to some other people. Like people are like, hey, if you're gonna bring this guy on, watch out. He might say some crazy shit.
Yes. Little disclaimer running on the bottom of the screen. I want to take this opportunity, as long as I have someone of your nerdacious caliber, to like get a little hypothetical. I'm sort of doing hypothetical spectacle, which is a feature on this show, and smashing it here. Let's take maybe one of the aforementioned schlocky properties and like video game-ize it, like Velocipaths or the real-time strategy, or like any.
Well, there's a few of the Wii Watches I watched where I was like, this, you could remake this and make a cool movie.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously a bunch of the Schlocktober stuff, like which was the one that there was one that was filmed in Psychovision, like Terror in a Haunted House. I think it was. That was a pretty fun one. I would like to see a remake of the Screaming Skull.
Like the Oculus Rift game kind of thing?
Yeah. I joked about how I would love to see a you know how they remade Evil Dead and did it like 100% serious and like scary?
Right.
I want to see that with Plan 9. Like,
big
good
budget.
Call. Fucking, yeah, like the aliens show up and make zombies happen, and just totally kind of like when Cronenberg remade The Fly. Like, go crazy with it, dude. Like, make it fucking scary and gory and awesome.
Right.
That could make a good video game, but another one that would make a great video game, and I would like to also see it remade, maybe even a TV show. I hate TV shows, but this one could work. But it's Full Eclipse. It's the Mario Van Peebles werewolf cop.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so a squad of like super cops that have the ability to turn into werewolves to fight like super crime. That would be fun. That'd be cool.
Great. That'd be. But the video game is just like totally. It's like a dating app, dating video game or something. Dating sim. Why couldn't I land on that? What I can land on is everybody's favorite feature of the show, Radiation Round. Called that because lightning is exceedingly rare in space, but it's essentially a lightning round. No wrong answers. Say whatever you want. We'll start here. Marvel or DC?
Obviously Marvel has better movies, but I'm a huge Superman fan. Superman is my boy, so I think because Marvel's great because it's got way cooler characters. They've got cool special powers. They're more human.
Right.
They have like faults and character problems and all this stuff. But I don't know. I just love how DC's like the modern demigods. Like they're so much more like larger than life and serious. You know.
Right.
Like when Superman walks into the room, everyone's like, "Holy shit, that's Superman!" It's like Zeus walking into the room. You know.
Like these cosmically powerful people that like hang out with the Question, like a guy with no face.
Yeah, like Marvel definitely has more. Like DC has a lot more bombs and missed opportunities, but when they do the stuff right, like All-Star Superman or Kingdom Come or whatever,
All-Star
Quest for Peace,
Superman, yes.
You know, like when they do it right, it's like, oh my god, yes, this is what it could be. Red Sun's another good one.
Red Sun like changed my life. I was so into
Red
that.
Sun's cool, but I don't like it when obviously Russian Batman and Russian Wonder Woman are there. But all that stuff with how Superman has like extreme ADHD and has to constantly
right?
Like, shut up, Mr. President, I have to go save somebody, you know?
There was a part in Red Sun where they're like, boats don't even have lifeboats anymore because they just know that. Like, it was a weird line, but I was like, that's what would happen.
Superman's just there. You just start relying on him too much, but I think I would have to say DC's just, it's got, Alex Ross.
Qualified both. Alex Ross, say no more.
Alex Ross did way more cool stuff with DC, and he's my favorite,
All right, well. I am a kind of a dyed-in-the-wool DC guy, but Marvel has some great movies, so kind of both on that one. Question 2, RoboCop or Terminator?
Dude, if you see my avatar,
that's where I got it from.
It's RoboCop. Yeah, RoboCop is Terminator's awesome.
Yeah,
and Terminator 1 and 2 are fantastic movies, and Terminators are way scarier. Mm-hmm. The idea of nuclear war and AI and killer robots. Like the idea of a killer robot is terrifying because it will never stop. It will never sleep. You can't be reasoned with. It's like zombies, except they have laser cannons. It's fucking terrifying. And I don't think any of the Terminator movies have really appropriately shown you how scary a Terminator could be, let alone an army of Terminators. Like that would fuck up stuff, especially the T-1000. Like I'm imagining a scene where like there's two guards like standing outside, and like a puddle comes under the door and big spikes come out. And then, like, the puddle turns into both of the guards, and there's two of them running around inside the compound. Like, you can do crazy stuff. Take your arm off and, like, throw it like a ninja star, and fucking kill people with it. Like, the T-1000 alone is like, holy shit.
Yeah, man.
But RoboCop has the heart, RoboCop is, he's got the emotion. If you ever did RoboCop versus Terminator, RoboCop is clearly the good guy.
Yeah.
The underdog. But also, just the RoboCop movie is my favorite movie. Terminator 1 and 2... Terminator 2, goddamn classic. Terminator 1, arguably better. You could argue they're better than RoboCop, but RoboCop is so rewatchable.
It's great. It's so good. The commercials and everything.
Yeah, the satire's great. The comedy, the over-the-top action, the over-the-top gore. It's not even the action, it's the gore. It's so violent.
And I think very underrated RoboCop 2, personally.
RoboCop 2 is awesome, but it's nowhere near as good as the
nowhere
first
near
one.
as good, but like
But Frank Miller wrote part 2. He's got a cameo in it.
I didn't know that.
I love Kane. He's doing the nuke. He's
doing nuke.
There's the part where Frank Miller's the pharmacist, the chemist who's making the nuke.
Oh, really? Okay.
And there's the part where Frank Miller's like testing the new sample, Blue Dream. It's like Blue Nuke.
Yeah.
And he's like the best. He's like, you need to cut it with this because it's making my teeth wiggling. It feels like my teeth are wiggling. Pescatolopine or whatever chemicals he's saying. I can't remember.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, you got to cut it with this, bro.
As an industrial music fan, I can't watch that movie without being like, they sampled that, and those guys sampled that, and it's.
Yeah, man. It just, dude. Like that's the thing is, it was a lot of, I don't even remember what I was listening to back in the early '90s. Like I liked Offspring and some of these other like bands. Everyone had Green Day, Dookie, like Ace of Base. It was weird shit. But then two things happened. Mortal Kombat the movie, and then Prodigy, Fat of the Land.
Absolutely.
So those two things, it was like
1-2
techno
punch.
all around,
Yes.
dude. It's just like fucking electronic music now from here on out, dude.
From here on out.
Like you heard about Crystal Method and
Totally.
What are the other big ones?
Underworld was big
Underworld.
at the time.
Oh yeah. What was it? Train Spotting,
Orbital. All of them. Okay, and question number 3. If you were a mobster, what would your mobster nickname be? Like, Enzo, Baby Cake Stupenzo, or Enzo the Minox Stupenzo?
I would say it'd probably be like my dad. My dad was like a cowboy recreational shooter.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
his nickname was Harry Luck. Because he was just this hairy guy, and our last name loosely translated and means lucky. So it's like, yeah, something along those lines, like Lucky Enzo.
Hell yeah!
Vincenzo the Lucky. I don't know, Lucky Vincenzo, something like that.
Love it. So from the top, it's much appreciation for Marvel and DC, maybe DC by a hair, RoboCop, although Terminator's great, and Harry, the son of Lucky Harry Lucky. I love it. That's cool as hell. And now it's time for everybody's second favorite feature, hypothetical spectacle. This is where we get like a little weird and sort of just come up with a wacky scenario. So I was thinking, if we took, and I've asked other people this question, and I've had good responses from it. If we took like the people kind of in our YouTubosphere and made like a classic D&D party out of it, like who would be what? Like, would you be the bard, or would like Dax be the druid with like animal affinity?
I love this question. Couple questions that I have to ask. How many people are on a team, and what are the classes again?
You can do whatever you want. Classically, I'd say 4 to 5, and now there's like 18 billion classes in D&D world. But classically, if you were a fighter, thief, wizard, maybe a bard and a druid, or like
I'm looking it up. Yeah, okay. Let's see here. I would want to be either a wizard or a druid. What is it? Sorcerer, warlock? These are all things. Rogues, monks.
Monks we got now.
The cleric. I wouldn't be a fighter. Maybe a barbarian. I am pretty savage.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
But it's hard. As far as like my, if I had a crew, I'd probably want Gord King on there.
Okay.
King would probably be my ranger, or no, he'd be the Leon could be the bard.
Okay,
because he plays a guitar, and I guess Sammy. I'd probably want to put Sammy on there. Judicus, man. Judicus would probably be he could be the wizard. I'll be barbarian, and
Very cool.
and Sammy could be our fighter.
I love it. Sammy's the fighter. Well, I maybe we could put down Cinevere as like the illusionist because she's so enchanting. But
yeah, I know. I still am like 10% sure she might be a dude.
I haven't ruled it out.
I'm just kidding. No, that's like a recurring joke I have. It's like you're unless I see you on cam, I'm just gonna assume you're a guy. Everybody.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm assuming about myself.
We love Cinevere. I feel bad. I feel bad though because I wanted to get her to watch. I wanted to watch that movie No Contest with some girls.
Okay.
And it was one of those movies I wanted to watch for like years. And I finally Vex was like not available, and Nadia's like late night stuff is just it doesn't work for some people. Some people were like Scooby was on vacation. Meg, she was at a graduation. So yeah, I was like, all right, I'll watch it with Cinevere and Dudicus, and that was fun. But it's a terrible movie. And then we watched Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding. I watched that with Dudicus and Sammy, and that movie was so incredible. And I totally should have watched that one with chicks. It was fucking insanely good. So it wasn't good. It was terrible, but we were enthralled like the entire movie. We were like, so holy shit.
I should put that down on my schlock list. Baywatch.
Yeah, well, I imagine my full-length commentary for that will come out in about 2 weeks.
Oh, fantastic! Okay, great. So, that was my final question was what is next for the Mighty Stupenzo? So we have the Baywatch Hawaiian Nights full commentary coming up.
So the week before that, we just had No Contest. Next week is Ice-T's Surviving the Game.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
Rutger
One of those
Hauer.
movies where they hunt people.
Yeah, there's a few of those. We watched Hard Target a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
That was a great one.
Love it.
And me and my cousin, Thunderqueef, Hard Target's a great one, a great we watch because my cousin ate some edibles before.
Okay.
So he has also sleep apnea like Sammy, and he's falling asleep. And there's all these explosions and gunshots going on, So, Jean-Claude Van Damme is, kicking gas cans in people's faces and blowing up with shotguns. And my cousin's just, snoring, I'm just like, Queef, you're sleeping. He's like, what? It was good.
I'll throw in one more radiation round. Do you go sativa or indica?
I prefer, that's the thing, is, I'm a pretty productive stoner.
Okay.
I like the hybrids, I like the hybrids a lot. I don't mind either. I don't mind either, really. Obviously, everyone says they love sativa more because it's like, oh, I don't want to be lazy.
Right.
But, I don't know, man. It's just I think all weed will make you it mellows you out,
That's
unless you're smoking too much of it, and then it makes you all paranoid and freaked out.
You're not gonna run a marathon either way.
I know. But as far as what else is Sundays,
right,
in a few hours we'll be doing we do the Dorksides.
Damn, thanks for
Tales from the Dorkside
machine. Thank you for doing
Sundays we'll do the Tales from the Dorkside. That's usually around midnight, late night, and it goes till about 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we wrap up. We'd start right after Gooch and Gang on Sunday night, so Monday morning.
So you're for our audience, just if they want to catch you, you're mostly on at night?
Yeah, well, yeah, the We Watches premiere every Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But obviously you can watch those whenever. Those are evergreen for sure. You could totally go in the playlist and watch any of those in any order, and they're still just as funny and relevant as they were back then. But yeah, and then the Stupenzo cast, those are fairly random. But I don't know. I like to just randomly stream here and there. And I am going to be streaming a lot this month because I know Cinevere's out of town, and there's a lot of garbage TV I want to watch. I want to finish The Swan. And I also, I might already be finished by the time this airs, actually. There's also, because of Baywatch, the movie, we found out about Baywatch Nights.
Yeah.
Which was a spin-off where it was like the X-Files.
What?
Yeah, so check this out. I said the same thing because we were talking about Baywatch Nights, and I was like, okay, I'm familiar with it. And they're like, yeah, when he's hunting a werewolf, and I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, so I do the reading into it, and it's amazing. Baywatch Nights was a spin-off where it's a detective show, and Mitch, David Hasselhoff's character, he is helps his buddy, who's a former cop, start a detective agency. And they're solving mysteries, crimes. And the first season did not do well. So season 2, because of the success of the X-Files, they do a hard pivot to paranormal, supernatural science fiction with sea monsters and haunted ships and werewolves and vampires. And you're like, what? He didn't
cross over with the Mario Van Peebles Full Eclipse. So
I wish, though. It fit right in. And I haven't seen any of it, but and I hear the main detective guy, he leaves the show in season 2 and he's replaced by a paranormal investigator.
So when do we see that in Tales from the Dorkside world?
We'll be doing that on the Stupenzo cast eventually. I'm guessing in the next month or so because there's a few random stuff I want to watch. Also, October, I do take Halloween very seriously. Usually we'll start the spooky season on my channel is September, October, November, all the way to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you got to do it.
we'll be doing all the spooky stuff. But like, 2023, I did Schlocktober, where I did a full-length public domain movie every day. I have been doing a lot more shitty movies that are allowed on YouTube just because it means less editing. But I still want to do plenty of bigger movies. And I have a lot of those in the pipeline too. But I have to edit those. It takes about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
But as far as this Halloween, I am going to try to, I think it's allowed based on what I'm not 100% sure. I'm like 80% sure, but I think I'm going to be able to live stream in increments every episode of Tales from the Crypt this October.
Hell yeah!
So I'm going to try to do 1 to 2 streams. I think 2 streams a week. I don't know if Tales from the Dorkside is going to be doing this. I might just do 2 Stupenzo casts a week, and they'll be live, hopefully. Because last year we did a bunch of movies, and I also did like a 9-hour Goosebumps marathon on Halloween.
Jesus.
And but see, Goosebumps sucked. I hated it. I never watched it as a kid, and I watched it as an adult. I was like, this show is terrible. And we're talking about doing that again this year. Another 9 hours worth of episodes. And I was like, I found out on a whim that basically I think Tales from the Crypt is allowed on YouTube, especially with commentary and stuff. I'm sure that helps, but. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to watch all, I think it's 60 or 70 episodes.
Content machine, this guy.
I know. That's going to be fun. Tales from the Crypt, watching all those.
Okay.
So hopefully we could finish it by Halloween. I don't know. That'll be fun.
That'll be.
So I'm really excited about that. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. It's why,
it's so good. I mean, not
I was
good,
hardened, as a child,
Oh, yeah, that one where, the guy, there's the... He's got to paint morbid paintings, and he ends up painting with the brains of the guy that would otherwise surgically save his body or some shit like that.
The Tim Roth painting one. Yeah. There's
yes, it was Tim Roth. Oh, it was Tim Roth. Fuck.
Yeah, one of my favorites. There's so many good ones, but you would love On a Dead Man's Chest, where the rocker dude is in a band and his singer is dating Tia Carrere. And he hates her. They don't get along.
Okay.
And meanwhile, he's fucking burnout, drug user, metal guy. They're rocker dudes. And he's going to get a new tattoo. And he meets this, one of the fat boys plays the tattoo artist. And he's going to do the old school, hammer and chisel style.
Oh,
tattoo.
Prison tat. Okay.
Yeah. He's he does it that way. He's like, all right. I was thinking about getting this over. He's like, no, man, you don't do anything. You don't tell me what to do. You lay down and I bring out what's inside. I just start tattooing and you don't have any say in it. And he's like, okay, that's cool. I remember he has this great speech where he's looking at all of his tattoos with his shirt off, and the fat boy's like, man, the shit people put on their bodies these days. And he's like, man, each one of these tattoos tells a story. He's like, yeah, story about a guy fucked up out of his mind with money in his pocket that he wants to burn. And it's just holy shit. So he does this huge, rigorous, chest tattoo on the guy, and it's this big badass, fucking snake with this woman who's all hot, and it's fucking Tia Carrere. It's spot on. And he's like, "What the fuck, dude? Who told you to do this?" He's like, "Bro, that was what's inside of you, And he's like, "No, dude, this is bullshit." And the tattoo basically makes him go crazy, and he kills the girl. He kills Tia Carrere and cuts his own chest off. So when his singer bursts through the door, he finds his dead wife, and the guy's got his chest tattoo skinned off, and he's like, she can't. It's fucking awesome, dude. That's a great episode.
Wow, damn, that show went hard for 91 or whatever it was on.
Sure did.
So we're on a flying couch out in space. I'm going to bring that back on into the station shortly. But what did we learn today? We learned our guest is a content machine isn't even the right word. Like force of nature. You can watch tons of stuff coming out. A lot of it may or may not involve Andrew Dice Clay with the wig that doesn't need to be there, and a mustache, and this sort of YouTuber sphere that I keep saying that I've fallen into sort of happened naturally for a guest. If you're going to be a guest on a show, brevity is the soul of wit. People don't need to know what you ate for lunch that day.
No, I mean it's fun to find. It's fun to hear about that stuff. I like small talk. I do like streaming and just what do we get just talking about it. I love
but if you're going to be a guest on somebody's show, you got to compact a lot into it.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, especially when there's big panels, you know, when you got like 6 or 7 people for sure. Right? When it's just me and you, like, yeah, fuck, let's talk as much as we want, both of us.
Totally.
But yeah, I do like how I think one of the cool things about my channel is like if you stumble upon it, it's one of those things where it's like you realize like, oh, this guy's made a ton of videos. And they're all still, you know, you can watch all the old stuff, you know.
And they're all gold.
I got a big catalog of weird. If you like weird movies,
I got some homework to do. But you at home there on Earth have some homework too, because you got to watch out for the upcoming Full Eclipse werewolf dating sim featuring Mario Van Peebles, DC by a Hair, RoboCop, and Harry Lucky, the gangster, and we have. Probably Barbarian is going to be our guest, but we have a very strong D&D party, and coming up, all sorts of crazy stuff. I mean, I feel like I've seen that episode of Tales from the Crypt, but like now I kind of need to see it like in real life.
Oh, dude, the July movies. We've got Carnosaur 2, Shaquille O'Neal and Steel. We've got
it's so bad.
The Shadow with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, we're starring the knife.
We're doing the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie.
I also
think I might be able to do a full-length commentary of Willow. I
have a Willow array of toys over like that's like my movie.
Whoa.
Like I'm kind of a Willow maniac.
I love Willow.
Yeah.
Well, you could probably watch it with us, man. Shit.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's make a space date. But until then, I'm gonna cut it here. So this is Brian for Space Couch, for Enzo, for Stupenzo, for Tales from the Dorkside. Dorkside we watch. Stupenzo cast saying call the spaceship to them. We're prepared for divinity and interface with a couch in space. Space couch. Out! That was such a fun episode. I let us talk with the
thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Dude, that was I'm bouncing off the walls now. I feel like I've just come across like some sort of Lovecraftian forbidden lore of wonderful movies and content that I need.
I also try not to do movies that Mystery Science Theater and Riff Tracks have done.